Hey everyone, I'm Attilio, and I am the Cast Iron Chef. I've been a chef for 35 years. It wasn't until I started cooking in cast iron that I found my passion. There's more to cast iron than campfires and steaks. I have so many recipes and techniques that I'm excited to share with you. I'm going to show you the right techniques to make cast iron your new favorite. You'll be amazed how good it is. Let me take you to my kitchen and I'll show you how. Today, we're gonna talk my favorite meat and potatoes. Today, I'm gonna show you how to use this cast iron pan to make the most amazing cowboy steak. We're gonna get this amazing crust. I'm gonna show you the technique on how to achieve it. For me, it's all about the sides. Today, I'm gonna show you how to make garlic smashed Red Bliss potatoes. It's a contrast of textures. That's what we're creating here, are textures. Little love, little patience, and a whole lot of cast iron.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call now.
Have you been fired from your job? Do you now need affordable family health insurance? Want coverage as fast as tomorrow? We have it. Affordable family health insurance with no long-term commitments and flexible payments. Medical bills can add up overnight. Could you afford that right now? Now is the time to get the health insurance benefits you need at an affordable fixed monthly cost. Call now to lock in your low monthly rate.
Here's an important message from the U.S. Med Diabetes Solutions Center. If you have diabetes, you know the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce your pain right away. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. So call us right now to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. U.S. Med. Better service. Better care.
And this is how you finish a cowboy steak. So the best steak is a ribeye, also known as the cowboy steak. Let me show you my technique to make the perfect cowboy steak. So we're gonna take this beautiful bone-in ribeye. We trimmed off some of the extra fat. So we're gonna tie this like this. And the reason we do this, because the rib cap on the outside, as this little piece of fat starts to cook off, this cap will open up, which means that the cap will overcook and also allow the center of the ribeye to also not cook as even. So we want to keep this all tight. And no matter how much you cook this cap should stay on when we have it tied properly. And you see, we don't want to over tie it, because what will happen when you over tie it, as it cooks, this center, because the meat wants to expand, it will bubble up and it'll just curl from the inside out, and you won't have that contact on the cast iron pan. We want as much surface of the meat in the pan touching the cast iron. So now the first step to getting this cowboy steak ready is the seasoning. I like kosher salt because to me, it makes the best crust on the steak. So we're gonna season both sides. And we're just gonna dust it, okay? Now, depending on how much salt you like, a little bit of pepper also, okay? Now, depending on how much pepper you like, that's up to you. Same thing with this side. Season it up, a little bit of pepper here. Pat it down nicely so it gets in there. Now, we're gonna let this rest for a few minutes while we start working on our roasted garlic. Roasted garlic confit, which means garlic that's cooked in fat. Today, the fat will be olive oil. So we have some peeled garlic, okay? And we're gonna submerge this garlic with some extra virgin olive oil. And we're not sauteing this. We're doing this on low. And it's gonna take a little bit of time, but when it's done, you're gonna have these beautiful, soft cloves of garlic that are so sweet. And that's how we're gonna finish this cowboy steak. With that, we're gonna infuse this roasted garlic with some sprigs of fresh rosemary. When the rosemary cooks in the olive oil, it infuses that oil. It's out of the park. So to cook this beautiful cowboy steak, we're using beef tallow. Beef tallow is a fancy word for beef fat. So all the trimmings from the steak that you would normally throw away, if you just render it down very slowly, you will have this beautiful beef tallow, which is nothing more than oil. Without even cooking steak, it smells like steak. So now we're gonna get this ribeye into the pan. Be careful with this because it is hot. But that is the sizzle we want. So when cooking the ribeye, we're gonna start on high. Once we build up the crust on both sides, we will lower the temperature. And that's how we develop that beautiful crust, slowly. Here comes that moment of truth. Be careful here. Here we go. Look at that crust we've already built. After we build up this crust, this side, we are gonna lower the temperature. And we do not have to put the steak in the oven. This whole steak will be cooked in the pan on the stovetop. Now that we've built a crust on both sides, we're gonna lower this. The cast iron pan will now do all the work. It will retain the heat, and you no longer need to put it on high. And we're gonna go for a rare to medium rare. Look at that perfect golden color. Now we're gonna let this cowboy steak rest. Oh my God, the aroma from this garlic and rosemary. I wish I had a loaf of bread I'd be dipping in here. It's important to let the ribeye rest. It will need at least 10 to 15 minutes to rest. Steaks rarely are eaten hot, especially out of the pan. They need to rest. That's what makes a great steak. You want all those flavors and juices to stay in the steak as it cools down. If you cut it when it's hot, all those flavors would just spill right out, and that's not what we want. Part of making a great steak is allowing it to rest. Okay, so we have our garlic confit, okay? It was brought up to a nice little simmer, and they're nice and soft. As you grab them, they just squish. So we're gonna take this garlic, and we're gonna strain the oil. Now this oil is already infused, so you can use it anywhere else. Sauteing vegetables. There is so much flavor in this oil, you can use it for almost anything. You can even make a dressing with it. Now, we're gonna bring this back up to a higher heat, and we're gonna add, I love olive oil, but when it comes to a steak, I love nothing more than butter and garlic, roasted garlic. And we're gonna put this in here, and we're gonna let this cook down. The aroma of butter and garlic is second to none. So we have our ribeye here that's been resting. Okay, take the string off. I like to cut it right off the bone. Follow the bone all the way. And here's that moment of truth. Is what we're looking for. We're going to take this all together. We're going to set it in this pan. I have it a little bit warm. We're not getting it really hot. I'm going to grab this, just like this. You hear that little sizzle. And then with the rosemary and this. And this is how you finish a cowboy steak. It's a contrast of textures. That's what we're creating here, are textures.
Here's an important message from the US Med Diabetes Solution Center. If you have diabetes, you know the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce your pain right away. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. So call us right now to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. US Med. Better service. Better care.
Have you been fired from your job? Do you now need affordable family health insurance? Want coverage as fast as tomorrow? We have it. Affordable family health insurance with no long-term commitments and flexible payments. Medical bills can add up overnight. Could you afford that right now? Now is the time to get the health insurance benefits you need at an affordable fixed monthly cost. Call now to lock in your low monthly rate.
If you've turned 65 recently like me, it's important you find a Medicare Advantage plan that gives you the coverage you're looking for. But finding one can be difficult. The best thing I did, and I suggest you do the same, is call a licensed insurance agent and let them walk you through your Medicare Advantage plan options. There are so many benefits you have access to, so make the call now and let the representatives explain everything to you. Our licensed insurance agents can offer you a variety of Medicare Advantage plans. Plus, the call is free, the information is free, and there's no obligation to enroll. We're here to make it easy for you to select a Medicare Advantage plan that may work for your needs. Finding a Medicare Advantage plan can be easy if you do what I did. Make a quick call right now to learn more. Thank you. Call 800-884-9325. That's 800-884-9325. Call now.
Once again, if your potatoes don't sizzle, it's not cast iron. Smashed red potatoes with garlic and butter. Potatoes in hot water, and we're gonna get them to fork tender. We're not making mashed potatoes. We're getting them to where they're soft because they're gonna finish cooking in the cast iron pan. So we have our potatoes that have been strained, dried, and they're fork tender. We don't want water on these potatoes because we will splash. We're using a hot skillet with oil and butter. So we want these to be nice and dry and a little bit cool also. So we're gonna put these in here now. I have that oil that we use to roast the garlic with. We're gonna use it now for these delicious smashed cast iron potatoes. Be careful at this point because things are hot. We're gonna put these potatoes in and listen to that sizzle. And now, time for mussels. We're gonna take another pan, we're gonna press down and just smash, smash. Get your anger out. Now's the time. Use the cast iron to smash these potatoes. So now we're gonna take this off and we're done. We already smashed them. Now, we season. A little salt, little pepper, and I'm not gonna say a little butter. It takes butter to make a perfect smashed potato. Now we're just gonna let these rest in the skillet until we build that beautiful crust. And this is where the magic of cast iron begins to happen. So these were still a little bit fork tender. We're just smashing them so they still have a little bit of texture. We're not looking for mashed potatoes. So while that's building the crust, I'm just gonna slice a few cloves of garlic. We're not looking to put garlic from a food processor. We're just looking to slice them really thin because we're not really adding too much garlic flavor in this because there's already garlic in the oil. We're just adding a little bit of freshness to the potato. It's just nice and thin. Be careful. Fingers out of the way. This takes a little technique, but you can do it. I have faith. Maybe about 6-7 cloves of garlic sliced is all you need because we're really just adding it right at the end just to give it a little bit of that fresh garlic pop. Because we're also going to have garlic, roasted garlic for the steak, so we don't want to over garlic everything. I think one more. What do you think? I think we could do one more. And this is what we're looking for. I get so excited when I start to sneak peek and I start to see how these potatoes are starting to crisp up because my family is gonna love this. With that cowboy steak and that cream spinach, this is the perfect potato. There it is. That's what we're looking for. This is why I get excited for cast iron cooking. And you can see, just smashed enough that you get all these little potato nuggets that are like crispy, and you still get some of these little soft centers. Like, again, it's a contrast of textures. That's what we're creating here, are textures. Now, I'm gonna add a little bit more excitement to this, and we're gonna put the fresh garlic in here. And we're not looking to get this garlic browned up. We're just looking to get a little flavor, little fresh flavor to this, just like this. So there's different aromas to fresh garlic, the roasted garlic. So the roasted garlic is very, very sweet. And this is gonna add just a little bit of pungent, just a little, okay? Not too much. But once we heat this up and it warms up in this butter and the potato, now you see these beautiful crispy, even the skins get nice and crispy. It's almost like it's almost like having potato skins, but in a cast iron. And who didn't love a potato skin? You do not want to peel these potatoes. You want that skin to get crispy. That's the beauty of this. We don't want a French fry. We want the different textures of the skin getting crispy, the soft centers. Oh my God. This is absolutely amazing. Cast iron, my passion. This is why. It's these types of dishes that make you really appreciate what cast iron cooking can do to your food. The best part about this, you bring it to the table just like this, sizzling. This is your platter. It keeps it hot. It'll continue to sizzle as you continue to eat that cowboy steak. If your potatoes don't sizzle, it's not cast iron. Little love, little patience, and a whole lot of cast iron.
Hi friends, Richard Karn here. Now I'm known as the guy who can fix just about anything, but the technology in most appliances requires very special training to fix. And that's why my family has Choice Home Warranty.
Choice Home Warranty covers over 25 major home systems and appliances. That's your AC, heating, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and so much more.
Imagine for less than a cup of coffee a day, Choice Home Warranty can help protect you from expensive major system and appliance breakdowns that your homeowner's insurance doesn't cover.
Call Choice Home Warranty now and get access to a nationwide network of over 15,000 technicians and the latest appointment setting technology so you'll know when they're on their way.
So, do what this old DIYer did and call Choice Home Warranty now before something breaks down.
Get protection for your heating, AC, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and more. Call for your free quote today. Call in the next 5 minutes and get your first month free.
Call 800-930-8169, 800-930-8169.
Have you been fired from your job? Do you now need affordable family health insurance? Want coverage as fast as tomorrow? We have it. Affordable family health insurance with no long-term commitments and flexible payments. Medical bills can add up overnight. Could you afford that right now? Now is the time to get the health insurance benefits you need at an affordable fixed monthly cost. Call now to lock in your low monthly rate.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call now.
Which kid isn't gonna love spinach, cheese, and cream? I'm gonna show you my secret to making a cream spinach that even your kids will love. I start with chicken stock, and I also use heavy cream. And because it's gluten-free, I'm not making a roux, which is with butter and flour. I will thicken it up with the modified food starch at the end. But this is gonna have so much flavor. I'm also gonna put a little bit of nutmeg. You don't need much, just a little. We're gonna bring this to a boil. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper. The bechamel doesn't need a lot of salt because you will be using this with other cheeses. So with the pecorino and the mozzarella, that's gonna add more salt for me with this cream spinach. If you are gluten-free and you're using modified food starch, it does give you the directions on how much you would use as opposed to flour or cornstarch. So it just takes a little getting used to, but I found that this makes a really thick and creamy bechamel without having the glutens. So we're gonna add some of this modified food starch in here. And it just takes a little bit for it to start to incorporate. Bechamel is ready. This is the consistency we are looking for. So one of the tests is if you put your finger through and it doesn't go back together. Now we're gonna put the bechamel to the side, and we're gonna work on our spinach. We're just gonna put this spinach in a cast iron pan, and we're just looking to wilt it. We're not looking to saute it. I'm not adding any oil or anything like that. This should go pretty fast, okay? Now you can use chopped spinach, but for this, I want to use a fresh spinach so the leaves kind of stay intact still. But chopped spinach works well also. And this bowl will make just enough to go in this pan. So don't be alarmed by the size of the spinach. It does deflate. Now we can add a little bit of the bechamel too in here. It'll start to help add a little bit of moisture to this spinach. Oh, this is just, it's coming together already. Doesn't take much. Little love, little patience, and a whole lot of cast iron. So we're just looking to put a thin layer of the bechamel. This is not a soup with spinach in it. And you can notice that the spinach starts to wilt very nicely. We have a little bit more left in here. Beautiful. Little toss. There. This is done. Okay. So we have enough heat in the pan that now we could add some pecorino. And this is where the salt really comes in, because pecorino is very salty, so just be careful with that. And look at how this is just coming together. Then, who doesn't love a little mozzarella with spinach and bechamel? I mean, gonna spoon this up like this. Now you could put this back in the oven. You could put some little breadcrumbs, a little bit more cheese on top, but being gluten-free, we're gonna stay away from the breadcrumbs, although they do make gluten-free breadcrumbs. We're gonna put this in this beautiful skillet here, and look at how it all fits in here beautifully. Then we're gonna put this back in the oven for a couple minutes. Cast iron seared cowboy steak. We have cast iron red smash garlic potatoes. And to finish it off, we have a cheesy cream spinach. So we're gonna look at this cream spinach now, and we have bubbles. This is a cream spinach. Because the spinach gives off so much water, that's why you wanna make this bechamel a little bit thicker. And if you notice here, it stays thick, and this is all spinach here. And here we go for that moment. Which kid isn't gonna love spinach, cheese, and cream? That is money. This is why I love cast iron cooking. This is a perfect meal. Once again, if your potatoes don't sizzle, it's not cast iron. Local New England seafood done in cast iron. Even though you're frying it in the cast iron pan, it really tastes light. Hey, Attilio, the cast iron chef. I'll see you in the next one.
If you turned 65 recently like me, it's important you find a Medicare Advantage plan that gives you the coverage you're looking for. But finding one can be difficult. The best thing I did, and I suggest you do the same, is call a licensed insurance agent and let them walk you through your Medicare Advantage plan options. There are so many benefits you have access to, so make the call now and let the representatives explain everything to you. Our licensed insurance agents can offer you a variety of Medicare Advantage plans. Plus, the call is free, the information is free, and there's no obligation to enroll. We're here to make it easy for you to select a Medicare Advantage plan that may work for your needs. Finding a Medicare Advantage plan can be easy if you do what I did. Make a quick call right now to learn more. Thank you. Call 800-884-9325. That's 800-884-9325. Call now.